You wanna try to beat the force, I wanna try to defeat the law. You wanna be with me, of course. Show you look a piece, wanna see some more, see some more, see some more, see some more, see some more. Soul gonna rise when I leave this corpse. Show you look a piece, wanna see some more.
Don't be afraid of the bounce. See when your things levels gotta change to get mouth. How can I walk in doubt? Never been a beg, never been a loud mouth. Pen can go for days. I'm obsessed with it, can't change my ways. So blessed with it, what can I say? Top form staying in shape.
You wanna try to beat the force, I wanna try to defeat the law. You wanna be with me, of course. Show you look a piece, wanna see some more, see some more, see some more, see some more, see some more. Soul gonna rise when I leave this corpse. Show you look a piece, wanna see some more.
I'm gonna run it up, though you know your fun is up. James knew back when I was coming up, didn't wanna know then. Now I bet they loving us no more. No, the bar is raised. If you know me, now I can bar for days. Nothing to prove cause I've done enough. Lights out, still gonna keep the torch. Show you little piece, wanna see some more?
You wanna try to beat the force, I wanna try to defeat the law. You wanna be with me, of course. Show you little piece, wanna see some more.
You can almost hear the noise coming from the nearby French Quarter. And they're being just as loud inside Caesars Superdome here in New Orleans. Ball is teed up. Joshua Carty to do the honors. And here we go from New Orleans. And this will be a touchback, so we're going to need our first snap to see the first action of this game. So their offense out now to get this game started. It's 1st and 10. Running this one left. A flag's down as he stops. Looks like this one's on the offense. A great play defensively. They forced a loss despite the penalty, and they just went ahead and declined it. Back to the line they go. It's 2nd down. Trying the right side. And he's out of bounds beyond the 35-yard line. It's an 8-yard gain, and things looking a whole lot better now. 3rd and 3 upcoming.
Some backs are easier to tackle than others. Some, well, they just choose violence. They look for those opportunities to bust through tackles and keep those legs pumping.
All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. Looking for a throw here. Complete beyond the marker. And they push this down to the opposing 47-yard line. 16 yards on the play. And the Saints are going to have a first down.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
Football on that 47-yard line, first down. He's dropping back to throw. To the left side and reeled in by Wilson. And they make the tackle at the 38.
Well, he saw his guys pick up the blitz. Well, he felt them pick it up anyway if he wasn't looking at him. But with their effort on his behalf, I think this QB felt owed to them and the group up front to find somebody to get a completion, so that effort up front wasn't in vain.
Let's see what they want to do here, partner. It's 2nd and inches. He's got it on the bootleg. Headed out right. They left him wide open. It's complete. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. That's going to pick up the first down after a gain of 26.
You know what I like about that, Kate? I like that they're not coming out slow. They're willing to go with some looks here that will yield big yardage down the field instead of just settling for dinking and dunking the ball.
They're now set for 1st and 10. They send a tight end in motion. They'll run here on first down. And he's out of bounds at the 3. Nearly got to the end zone there. It's an 8-yard pickup, and they're going to have 2nd and 2 next.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid gain, but it's also a run that you know and you may come back to, because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you really break the backs of a defense.
Back-to-back carries here. And he's in for the touchdown. The Saints finish up an excellent opening series. Jason Sanders to try the extra point. Rush coming off the edge, and they block it! And the Panthers grab it! And they'll snuff out that return before it gets too far, so just a blocked extra point on the play.
Well, that's going to take away a touch of that early momentum they built with the opening drive touchdown. And just as importantly here, blocking that extra point should give the offense a little boost as they come out for their first possession, looking to match touchdown for touchdown.
Kadarius Toney now to return it. And he's brought down inside the 20 on an uneventful return.
The Panthers take over first and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
They're out and set, first and 10. Coming out, throwing his Howell. Completes it to his running back. Here's Jonathan Brooks. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only one? Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
To the air on first down. Howell has him on the quick hitter. And he'll have a small 4-yard chunk there. Patrick Queen ranging in for the tackle.
Every once in a while, it's fine to be conservative on first down, especially when you get enough to stay on schedule and get a little something coming out of it, too.
Second and 6 coming up here. Defense showing blitz. Howell fits it through the middle. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. They get 27 on the play. And it'll give the Panthers a first down. New slated downs to approach here from the 40. Here's Howell, first and 10. Completed to his running back. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. It's a gain of 21 yards to pick up that first down.
Something out of nothing, Kate, that may as well be listed on his resume because he's so good at it. Caught that one near the line, and after that it was all him. Turning a modest pass into far more than a modest gain.
From the red zone now. He'll get this one to Brooks. And he'll get this inside the 10 to the 9.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on first down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for second down. Third and short in your back pocket. You can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. The first carry now for Jonathan Brooks. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
Well, looky here. You don't even have to worry now about a third down call as that run moves the sticks. Now that call you had ready, though, you can recycle it. Save it for later for that next third down coming.
Brooks runs in. Touchdown, Carolina. The Panthers finish off their opening drive. It's a Jonathan Brooks touchdown. No doubt about that one, Brock. They softened that defense up with that lengthy opening series, and then the front just couldn't stand up to the run as they reached the end zone.
Yeah, the numbers tell you, kind of just like baseball, you love home runs, you love explosive plays, but when you can play small ball and you can keep that defense gasping on the field, you can often run it right down their throats in the red zone.
Cardi has it all teed up and ready to send it away. And it bounces out of the end zone, so they'll set up shop at the 30. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Lone back gets the handoff. Give him 18 yards on that play, Brock, and it gets him a 1st down.
Offensive coordinators tell us all the time, big runs only happen with coordinated efforts. Great block in the spring of guys hitting blocks downfield and a back who can show off his wheels.
Going to the ground again on 1st. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory. Halfway there on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Humble 5 to 6 yard gain on the ground. Not a huge gain, not a game-changing play by any means, but one that keeps you on schedule and takes some of the starch out of that front 7.
Out of the shotgun, they'll give it to him inside. And he's brought down for a loss.
What was supposed to move the chains or at least make 3rd down easier to handle instead? Well, did the exact opposite here, Kate. It now makes this 3rd down a whole lot trickier to figure out.
Let's see what they draw up on a 3rd and 7. Running back sent in motion. They'll throw on 3rd and long. He has the 1st over the middle. And he has it to the 42 before they make the stop. That one gains 7. And that's good for a New Orleans 1st down. Out of the gun, they'll give it to him inside. And the defense is all over this one for a big loss. So that's 1 quarter gone in a battle. We're back for the 2nd quarter. Saints in possession of the football. They have 2nd and pretty long here. Here's the lone back on the handoff. And he'll advance this down to the 38-yard line. That's 7 yards on the run. Still 6 to go on 3rd.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that 1st down marker.
They're going to throw it on 3rd and long. Short pass brought in. And he's out just a second shy of reaching the red zone. That's 16 on the pickup. And the Saints are going to have a 1st down. Lone back in the backfield, and he gets the handoff. And that's a huge hit there, but he's still able to power through enough for a 1st and goal.
That's pretty good right there now. You don't always expect a sizable gain when you run it on 1st down. You just want some yards to set up an easier 2nd down play. But they will take that execution every time.
They'll break the huddle and come up on 1st and goal. They'll try and punch it in. Is across the line for the New Orleans touchdown. The Saints take a second quarter lead. They kept it on the ground as opposed to airing it out, and that time, well, Brock, the ground game paid off.
Well, these great rushing attacks down here that could score rushing touchdowns, it takes the whole party getting involved. Yeah, the burst of the running back was tremendous. How about the launch of his blockers right off the line of scrimmage? That's a touchdown the entire way, and it took the entire group offensively.
So the Saints offense staying on the field. They're going for two.
The Saints will line up for the two-point conversion.
He's throwing for it. And he makes the catch. The two-point conversion try is good. All right, Brock, they win empty. We all expected a pass was coming, and they do indeed go to the air and connect on that strike for two.
Yeah, once you empty that backfield, it does certainly, Kate, alert that defense to pass. And then it comes down to disguise. It comes down to timing, especially on a two-point with everything condensed. Well done by that offense to go get two.
Sanders all set to send it away. Tony now to return it. Returns looking good so far. And he gets him into a good spot, just a yard or two shy of the 40-yard line.
The Panthers take over first and 10 at their own 39-yard line.
So good field position for the Panthers. Starting this drive, first and 10. Hand off to the back. And he's downed after getting this up to the 41. Two on the pickup there, and it's going to be 2nd and 8.
Hey, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. Now a give running right. And he made a bid for midfield there, but stopped on his own side at the 49. Give him 9 on that play, and it's enough for the first.
May not be the way he typically gets the ball, Kate, but once he had it in his hands like a reception, he knew what to do with it. He smelled that first down, and he went and got it.
First and 10 from a yard shy of midfield. Man in motion here. Hands it to the receiver here in motion. Oh, look at this sweep. And he takes it just inside the 40, down to the 39. Pickup of 12 on that play. And that'll be good for a Carolina first. Straight ahead, here's Brooks. And this is pushed ahead for a gain of 5. That's George Karlaftis who got there for the stop. First down play, nets him 5. It's going to be 2nd and 5.
You gain that kind of yardage in the run game, and you're going to gain the trust of your offensive coordinator. Plays like that, runs like that, set the table for everything else in the playbook.
On second down, it's Brooks. He's out in the clear. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets him up with 1st and goal.
Best run games in this league at balance. Can run it inside, and as they just showed right there, doing damage on the outside.
This offense in position now. It's 1st and goal. Here's Brooks. And that carry only nets 1 on the plunge up the gut.
Hey, I get it on 1st and goal, right? A lot of teams like to be conservative and limit risk. Even if a run is stopped short, you still got 2, sometimes 3 downs to play with.
Yards to go as they get set on 2nd and goal. Powell from the gun. And he he got it! Interception! Devon Holland comes up with it. And the Saints take over on his 5th interception of the season.
Well, that's it right there. That's the resilience and the mental toughness that every coach wants to see from his defense. Not a great spot for him. Backed up close enough that they're going to get shots taken in the end zone. But instead of collapsing under pressure, they rose up and they created the takeaway.
The Saints enjoying some good field position to start this drive off. 1st and 10 coming up. Quick touch pass to the receiver. And they beat him to the edge. That run stopped back at the line. Nothing for him on that play as we've hit the 2-minute warning. Second and 10, need to get some positive yardage here. Shotgun snap, looking to throw. Pocket isn't holding up, they're able to drop it. And that pushes them back, 3rd down coming up.
That sure ended up being a worst-case scenario. Pass rush just kept coming and bearing down. And he was looking for an escape that wasn't there. It's just one of those plays in hindsight, Kate, where you really got to understand, I got to cut bait, cut my losses, and avoid such a negative play.
Here he is on 3rd and long. And there's a man there. It's intercepted. Along the right sideline, there's space. And for the moment, that's going to be a touchdown. Whether it will stand, though, well, that depends on the call on this flag. The penalty erases an exciting turnover, makes it 1st and 10. They're throwing it. Setting up the running back screen. And they're going to haul him down a step before the 30, right at the 31. And that one goes for a gain of 11. And that's good for a New Orleans 1st down.
To this day, I can still see the faces of the big guys in the huddle. When you call a screen like that, instead of them just getting knocked backwards, they get to be salesmen. They get to push those linemen downfield and then tee off and go hit somebody like they did right there.
Just a couple of yards here as he heads for the sideline. He gets a couple on 1st, and they'll come up 2nd and 8.
Hey, we know running the ball in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. From the 28. Throwing the out route complete. They'll get 14 yards and a new set of downs.
Kate, I can't tell you how good that is. Anticipating the outcut, having the ball on the way before the receiver's head even turns, he puts it on him so that receiver could easily get out of bounds for the nice gain.
A new set of downs forthcoming. It's 1st and 10. Plowing up the middle. And they try to power it forward, but only a couple of yards there.
I think one thing you learn, Kate, when you transition from college to the NFL, not every run is going to be a big play. Some of them, well, they're just destined to end in a minimal gain, and some of them will set up that critical play action for later.
And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. He musters up 3 yards on the run. That sets up 3rd and 4.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get 1st downs against the better defenses in this league.
chains here on 3rd and 4. Putting the tight end in motion. 3rd down from the gun. Cut near the goal line. It's a New Orleans touchdown. So Brock, this offense looking sharp here in the first half as they extend their lead.
You know, and when things are going well, sometimes you really just get into a groove. And this is a unit that's putting the pieces together.
And this one thankfully not off the mark. He gets it to go. After seeing his point after blocked, he's got to stay out there and kick it off. And he opts not to bring this one out, so they're going to enjoy some good starting field position from the 30. They've got 1st and 10, Brock, but time for maybe 2 plays at most if they even want to try anything. Yep, as expected, they go to the ground to start this one off. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs. Just before halftime, we get a timeout. Take it. Here comes the final play of our first half. A final throw before the break. Searches from the pocket. Floats that one, but they couldn't connect. That brings us to halftime. We'll get a break as our teams make their adjustments and then return with more of the NFL on EA Sports in just a little bit. Well, that first half, certainly an interesting one. Kate, Scott, Brock Eward with you as we get back and see what the second half has in store for us. Sanders all set to send it away. Return starts from the goal line. Only manages to get this back to the 20 before he's taken down. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. And the shotgun, Howell. Finds a seam down the middle. And what a hit there. Ouch, she pays the price for moving the chains that time.
I love throwing on 1st down. And when you see a 1st down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you plan for, and you go out and execute.
Great start to the drive. They're up in the neighborhood of midfield after just one play. First down, Howell. He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic, but it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you could depend on.
Howell out of the shotgun. This is reeled in by Leggett. And they bring him down after the play reaches the 26. It's a 24-yard gash, and it gives them the first down.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on 2nd down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about 3rd down at all.
It'll come up 1st and 10. The give now out of the shotgun. And he's stopped just before he reaches the red zone at the 21. Give him 5 on that carry, bringing up 2nd and 5.
Hey, Kate, you want to know how crazy your partner is next to you? I would love to take a fan right out of these stands and put them there on that play, just so they could feel what a 5-yard run feels like. Because it may not look like anything on the stat sheet, but I promise you if the average person felt the pain of what a 5-yard gain was, they'd have a whole new perspective.
From the 21. Too much on that, and it sails through the end zone, incomplete.
Just something off in the rhythm of the passing game on that one. Time to recalibrate and keep throwing it to get back into rhythm.
No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down. To throw, Howell. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the defense comes through to back them up ahead of 4th down.
Kate, I've seen a one-step drop. I've seen a 3, a 5, a 7. Some of the boots and play actions get more depth, but a 20-step drop? That's not going to cut it. Except for this defense, it just adds a whole bunch of negative yards to that play. Well, there's certainly never, ever a guarantee from that distance, but that's one you'd expect to be in your kicker's range. You hate to have a drive come away with nothing. But that's exactly what happened.
And he made a bid for midfield there, but stopped on his own side at the 49. They get an even 10 on that play. And the Saints are going to have a 1st down. Back to the well again. And he's going to go down right along the midfield stripe. Just a gain of 1, and that brings up 2nd and 9.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
They give it to him again. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a 1st down.
Easily had the yardage for a first, but he was hungry for a lot more. I think that tackle prevented something that was going to be a lot bigger than just a 1st down pickup.
First down, and they go right back to him. And they take him down right along the 30. Halfway there on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
You know, these are the kind of runs, Kate, that a balanced game plan and a balanced offense is built on. It gets you good yardage, it sets up your play action, and it keeps that defense honest.
Has some space inside the 15. And he is all the way ahead to the 13-yard line. He finds him 16 yards and a new set of downs. All right, all set up now. 1st and 10. Receiver in motion, going left. And they're going to get this down to the 4 before being stopped.
Well, this offense is trying to keep the defense off balance down here in the red zone, mixing in receiver runs with everything else they love to do. And the best part is, it's working. He gets them several yards on that play.
Running for the marker on 2nd. And his short gain gets them a new set of downs.
That's certainly a spot where you could be more aggressive, Kate, if you wanted to take your shots. But some coaches, even the bolder ones, will take the safe play first when they get it from time to time. No third down required now.
4 downs now to get in. Here's first and goal. Marshall now in motion right. Right back to him on first and goal. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
I know from the position of the quarterback, Kate, sometimes you hand that ball, you put it in the belly of the running back, and you send him right into the teeth of a buzzsaw. You can feel it from the jump, and that call from the defense, well, it came at the perfect time.
We're through 3 on this holiday weekend.
With the score, Saints 21.
Trying again from the 2. It's second and goal. He gets it headed right. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
This coordinator tried to show some trust and belief in his offense. A run after a negative run? Well, you lose a lot of equity and belief in that coordinator. I don't think he's going to try a third run after back-to-back negative losses.
Buckle up. It's third and goal. Oh, surprise gift to the receiver near the goal line. And he runs it across. Touchdown. The Saints have likely locked up the win right there. A lot of pressure on him in that moment, Brock. Find a way to score. Don't let it go to fourth and goal. And he finds a way to come through and gets in the end zone for 6.
Now, how about the other side? Beating the defense right there as well. That group who was so close to pulling off the goal line stand, yet all that motivation wasn't enough to stop him on third and goal.
Houston Sander is set to kick off.
Now, good news here. This is one kick that can't be blocked as he sends this away. Tony now to return it. Only manages to get this back to the 20 before he's taken down.
The Panthers take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
They'll get this drive started. First and 10. Throwing with a blitz on the way. Hits him on the out route. Escapes a defender. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. Now Howell to throw. And oh, someone stepped in. It's intercepted. And the Saints have it as he records the first interception of his young career.
Well, that's now 2, Kate, that they've gotten him for picks in this game, and he's got to be careful, right? You've got to protect the football. It is the greatest treasure you have as an offense. And this defense, well, they've got 2 in their pocket, and you know they're going to be going after number 3.
They'll run here on first down. And they bring him down, but there's a flag on the field. So now, partner, got to reevaluate what to do on this next snap because the holding call pushes him back quite a ways. That holding penalty is going to make first down twice as tough. They're 20 from the marker to start things out. Throwing now off play action. He's on the move, and they get to him way behind the line on this one and take him down. And the big play drives them backwards. Second down coming up.
play.
Yeah, this is a time where offensively you got to regroup. You got to get in that huddle. You know, and quarterback is the most important leadership position. Everyone's looking at you. And as a QB, after taking a sack like that, golly, you got to flush it, instill some confidence, and move this ball forward.
Out of the shotgun, they'll give it to him inside. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down. And it'll be a gain of about 4, but doesn't shrink the mountain that they have to climb now on 3rd and long.
They'll come away happy getting that type of output on most run plays. It's a sign, well, they're getting some good push up front, and this running back is seeing the lanes and paying them off.
They'll motion him out of the backfield left. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the defense comes through. That's going to back him up and bring up 4th down. Here comes the Saints punting unit. And thankfully, he hasn't been needed until the final quarter. Only punted once in last week's loss, and he gets this one away. Broke through the tackle, and he's going to get a modest amount on that return before he ends up out of bounds. That one in the books is a 48-yard punt. And it's going to be Panthers football. Football on that 47-yard line, 1st down. A carry by Brooks to start the drive. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
Kate, I know you can see that smile on my face as we stand next to each other. Sure, I love that run. But I'm thinking about some great running backs. In fact, Corey Dillon, who created a lot of negative grades on my play sheet because I didn't want to carry out no fake. I wanted to watch the damage he could do like we just saw.
And he won't win the race to the outside. That run's bottled up at the line. Nothing for him on that play as we've hit the 2-minute warning. Second and 10. Need to get some positive yardage here. Again, it's Brooks. And as they bring him down, let's check the penalty flag. Well, partner, they say there's holding on every play. You just got to look for it, right? That time, though, we did not have to look too hard. So now a much tougher task here as they come up on 2nd and 20. Running it after the penalty. Jukes one defender. Give him 5 on that play. Still need 3 times that now on 3rd and 15.
That's just a good play to mix up what you're doing and keep that defense guessing. The execution, that's pretty well done too. Creating the space for a solid pickup.
And the Saints go in nickel. 3rd down. Defense showing blue. Caught him deep behind the line. Oh, the ball is out! And the Saints grab it! And they limit the damage on the return, but it is still a turnover.
Yeah, I get it, Kate. 3rd down, you're doing all you can to try to stay on the field, but unfortunately, poor ball security loosens his hold on it, and the defense knocks it free. Instead of facing 4th down, even better, that defense is off the field completely.
And he's brought down for a loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
Wow, they're going to pass it here. Fits it through the middle. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. It's a pickup of 26. And that's good for a New Orleans 1st down. Oh, look at this. He's setting up to throw. They don't connect there, and now just 3 seconds showing on the clock.
Well, that's like a good peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Takes both to make it work. And defensively, you've got to have that pressure up front. That's peanut butter. And then you'd like to have some jelly. And that was almost a huge play with an interception.
Out of the gun, they'll give it to him inside. Oh, he lost the football. Panthers pick this one up. So fans starting to stream from the Superdome to the French Quarter as it's a win for the Saints.
Two in, two up, back ends, moved up, look up, I'm flying, yeah, I'm free now, see now, society's time me release now, crazy, I'm finna go see now, big style, big deals, vitamin water, that's a big one, 6 mil, coach came to me like I'm D1, like Will, got 17 hours to the flight out. Only got time for a night out. So tell me what you want.